Well, I'm going to try to make this a quick video, but this is the next episode, and it has nothing to do with how it's sitting right now. That's going to be in the episode after this, but this episode is basically talking about emissions testing. So I am finally registered till my next birthday. So we're no longer dirty, we're no longer on a temp, and we're fully inspected, and everything's good. So I kind of wanted to discuss that process and kind of like my concern. So before I discuss that, I'm going to do a little disclaimer on I am referencing the state of Georgia. So in the state of Georgia, there are certain counties that require emissions testing. I just happen to live in one of those counties. I believe it's only the counties around Metro Atlanta. I'm not sure if it's around any of the other cities like, Savannah and all that. I'm not really sure. But this is strictly referencing the emissions testing that I have to do. I know every state is different. Every state has different types of testing. I know I used to live in North Carolina. They have emissions and safety. But for the discussing this video, and what I will be discussing is mainly in reference to the state of Georgia and their testing requirements. So, one of my concerns since I'm running the Silverado ECM and TCM, when you plug into the OBD port underneath the dash and you pull data, so if you put in just your standard OBD, code reader, it'll give you an option to look up vehicle info or something like that, and it'll pull the VIN number from the Silverado. I have to run a Silverado VIN number in the ECM, otherwise I cannot pull the programming from GM to give me the V8 coding for that ECM, which is how I initially have to set that ECM up. I can't put Colorado programming in there because that ECM is a completely different model number and it won't recognize that as being able to accept Colorado programming. So I have to run a Silverado VIN number in that. So my concern is when they plug in to do my emissions testing, that it was going to pull the VIN and see that it does not match what I'm registered with and cause me all kinds of issues. That was not the case. So talking to the emissions people, first I went up to the DMV, talked to them, was trying to get a temporary registration so that I could drive this and get the sensors ready, which I've discussed in multiple previous videos. But basically what they told me I had to do is I had to have a failed test before they could give me a temporary. So coming over here, I took it up to an emissions place. I talked to them about what I had done. I told them I did a swap. I'm running a different ECM. They told me from their understanding of how the test is ran, there is a barcode on your sticker in your door jamb. It's on mine. It's between the front and rear door. There is a sticker that has your tire pressure information, your VIN number is on that sticker, and there's a barcode. So they scan that, and from their understanding, that is the only VIN number that it pulls. So I went up there for a failed test. They scanned that, and it put the VIN number right into their system. They plugged into the OBD port, started the truck, did all their testing, and of course I failed. So this was my first test. As you can see, I had a failure, and my failure was because of the readiness. So you could see right here, readiness says fail 4. what that is how many you have incomplete will be the number, and the state of Georgia will allow me to pass with one readiness not complete. At the time that I did this test, I had 4 that were not complete. So what I ended up having to do was, I cannot every time I load a tune during revisions, it wipes the computer and starts over the readiness again. So that was kind of one of my issues on why I couldn't get the readiness to get done. That way I could get this thing to pass. So what I ended up doing was I didn't load any new tunes, and I pretty much just drove this thing as much as I could over the course of a couple weeks. Probably about 2 weeks, I'd say probably about 200 miles. Yeah, it was probably about 200 miles. And I ended up going back, and now we're past. So they plugged it in, it did the whole checks again. I still had one readiness that wasn't done. No big deal. I don't even remember which one it was. But yeah, so we got a pass. So once all that's passed, pass. I am running catalytic converters. They're EPA certified ones. They're pretty small, that way they could fit with my space requirements. I think I've showed that in some videos, but I am running catalytic converters that are EPA approved, because I did not want to have issues with this regarding that as well. So yeah, that's pretty much what I had to go through for the emissions. So not really too bad. It sounds like when I do my renewal every year, I should not have any issues. I pretty much pull in there and they'll scan, plug it in, and we'll be good to go. So wanted to do a quick video kind of addressing that. This will be another episode, and then my next episode, I'm still filming, but I'm actually working on, I've done some break-in. I've done about 1,000 miles on the diffs, so I've changed the fluid in those, because we still had the break-in fluid. And then I'm installing the devers. I ran into a little issue. Some bushings weren't correct, so I'm at a standstill now, but I'm gonna address that in the next video, because I've got quite a bit going on as far as the drivetrain at the moment. So putting the devers on a little earlier than what I was planning, but that's because of some drivetrain issues that I'm having. I'm getting a pretty nasty vibration above about 75, 80, which is about what I was driving it at the last video. If I go a little bit above that, it gets really bad. And I ran some tests using an app, and the vibration's actually kicking in at 65. It's just not quite as felt on the interior. But I'll be discussing that in my next video, and so stay tuned for that. And that one's probably going to be a little long, because I kind of show the diffs, and then once I get this all complete, I'll finish filming that, discussing the drivetrain issues. And then we should be back on the road, continuing tuning while we wait for the 35s to go to V8 swap 2.0. I do have all the stuff. I still have not done the transmission fluid, fix that leak. I planned on doing that tomorrow, but now I'm kind of stuck here, and I'm not going to continue doing anything else to the truck. So that will be next weekend. I'll probably show that along with the next video. That way it has a nice, good, large amount of stuff that has been completed. All right, I will catch you guys on the next one. And like always, if you got any questions, feel free to post a comment, and I'll address it.